Hello friends and foes, my name is Cait and this is my channel chaptercviii. And today I am announcing the 3rd annual Bookweb Valentine's Readathon. I started Valentine's 2 years ago and it's kind of grown over the past couple of years. There are a lot of different components to this month-long readathon, and it is completely dedicated to your love of reading and of the online book community. When I first created this readathon, I basically wanted something fun during my birthday month. I'm not a huge fan of Valentine's, and I don't really like romance books, so I wanted to make a readathon that was centered on our love of reading altogether, and our love of the online book community, rather than a readathon that was focused on, like, romance. So like I said, this readathon has a lot of different components. The first component is a bingo board with various reading challenges, and also 5 challenges that are more action-oriented challenges. I'm going to go over the challenges on the bingo board at the end of this video. In addition to reading challenges, there are also challenges on a variety of platforms. So there will be video challenges that take place on BookTube, blog challenges, Bookstagram challenges, and this year we will even have book talk challenges. We will also have people running Twitter sprints throughout the entire month. We'll have a few read-ins here and there, and a few special events. One of those events is Buddy Read Roulette. If you sign up for Buddy Read Roulette, you will be paired up with a random reader, and then the 2 of you will decide on a book to buddy read during the month of February. There have been several reader friendships that have blossomed out of this event. The next event is Bookish Cupid. This is similar to a Secret Santa type thing, but what you will be sending your target is your favorite book, or one of your favorite books. And you also will be receiving someone's favorite book. It's important that you keep your target a secret for the entire month until the very end. It's also really important that if you sign up for Bookish Cupid, you actually intend to send a book. I can't control if people do or do not send a book, but I am asking you, if you do sign up for this, please do so with the intention of actually sending a book so we don't have people that are disappointed. And the 3rd event that you can sign up for is actually something new, and it's called the Cupid Post. The reason I came up with this is because I know a lot of people are not able to do Bookish Cupid due to finances and things that are going on. This is where we pair you up with a reading pen pal, and you can send each other letters or postcards during the month, recommending books or talking about books or anything like that. If you plan to sign up for any of the 3 events, that's the Buddy Read Roulette, the Bookish Cupid, or the Cupid Post, then you have to sign up by January 25th. That way we can kind of pair everybody up before the month of February starts. All the information that I'm going to be sharing in this video can also be found on our Notion. Notion is a very simple website, and I've made a simple page that just has the announcement video, different challenges, links to all the events that you can sign up for, the bingo board, and it's also going to have all the challenges that come in through the month for BookTube, Bookstagram, Book Talk, and blogging challenges. So it will kind of be a hub of all the information that you'll need throughout the month. We will also be sharing the challenges that are announced throughout the month on our Twitter. You don't have to have a Twitter to participate in the readathon itself, but if you are planning to participate in any of the 3 events, you have to have a Twitter, because in previous years we've had like a couple here and there that haven't had a Twitter, and communicating with them and getting in touch with everybody has been really, really difficult. So you don't have to, keep your Twitter or use it for everything else, but, if you plan to participate in one of those 3 events, you do need to have a Twitter. And if you follow us on Twitter at Readathon, you can also keep up to date with some of the things that are being announced, and you can also follow along with the Twitter spins. Now let's get into some of the challenges on our bingo board. So when going over these challenges, we're going to start at the top left and then move to the right and down. The first challenge is Love Shack, and this is to read a book that has some sort of building on the cover. So a house, a church, a school, a hotel, a hospital, some kind of building. A castle could even count. Now when I say building, it can have the picture of a building or it can have a word. So for example, The Haunting of Hill House has the word house in it, and so that would also count. The next space is Black Future Month, and this is to read an Afrofuturism book. The next we have Goo Goo Eyes, and this is to pick up a book that you definitely picked out because of the cover. Then we have our first action space, and this is Love Note. Love Note is to tell a bookish creator how much you appreciate them and their work. Then we have Words of Affirmation. This is one of 5 love languages that are present on the bingo board as challenges. For Words of Affirmation, you have to read a book that is blurbed by one of your favorite authors. For example, my favorite book, An Unkindness of Magicians, has a blurb at the top by Neil Gaiman, who is one of my favorite authors. Then we have a space named Love Language itself, and this is to read a translated work. Our next action space is to spread the love, and this is to promote or share the work of one of your favorite online bookish creators. Then we have Skip a Beat, and this is to skip reading the synopsis of a book and just jump right in without really knowing much about it. Then we have Quality Time, and this is to read a book that is probably going to take a while. Then we have Gifts, and this is to read a book that was given to you as a gift, or if you don't have one of those, a book that you would give someone else as a gift. Then we have Opposites Attract. This is to read a book in a genre or format that you don't typically read. If you're used to reading physical books, maybe trying an audiobook or an ebook. Then we have My Sunshine, and this is to read a lighthearted book. Then we have sort of our free space, but not quite, and that is to use the hashtag Valentines on social media. Next is long distance, and this is to read a book that takes place or is inspired by the culture of a country that is not your own. Next we have head over heels, and this is to read a book by an author whose first name is longer than their last name. And honestly, I was kind of surprised how difficult it was to find authors that had longer first names than last names, but you can do it, I believe in you. Then we have touch. This is another one of the love language spaces, and this is to read a book that has an interesting texture to it. So this really applies to the feel of the cover. However, if you're using like an ebook or an audiobook, this might not quite work. So if that is the case, then pick a book that you've heard as a touching book. Then we have a long-term relationship, and this is to pick a book that has been on your TBR for a really long time. Next we have sharing is caring, and this is to read a book that fits a prompt of another readathon going on in February. Next we have love song, and this is to read a book based off one of your favorite songs. Then we have bubble bath, which is another one of our action prompts, and this is to read a book in the bubble bath, or if that's something that you're not comfortable with, maybe putting some lotion on and reading a book, or using some sort of aromatherapy and then reading a book. Next we have date night, another action challenge, and this is to have a special night just for you and reading. Whether that's making a special meal for yourself, wearing something really cozy and reading, setting out a nice reading nook, whatever it is, making a special night just for reading. Then we have acts of service, and this is to read a book that involves a quest of some sort. Next we have dream come true, and this is to read a book that reminds you of a dream you've had, either a literal dream you've had or a figurative dream that you have. Next we have commitment issues, and this is to continue or to start a new series. And lastly we have first date, which is read a new to you author. So those are all the challenges for the readathon. I'm going to put a link to our Notion in the description of this video so you can find all the information that you need. I'll also put a link to our Twitter account, and if it turns out that the Notion's not quite working for people, I'll create a Google document and put that in the description as well. So I really hope you will join us this year for Bookweb Valentines. It's always so much fun. I would love to see your TBRs, your vlogs. I would love to see you participating in the reading challenges and the other challenges that come up throughout the month. Don't forget to tag anything with Valentines. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, and don't forget to check out the Notion that we have with all the information. Let me know down below if you're going to be participating. Like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and don't forget to let out that breath you didn't know you were holding. Bye! Tripping over shadows and I'm drowning in the night. I feel the soldiers coming and I'm putting up a fight. I feel my eyelids closing under